So how many times have you been working on a project, and I don't care what the project is. I don't care if it's a car, home improvement, something for work. Hell, it could have been a school project when you were 10 years old. And everything's coming along, coming together the way you want it to. Everything's working out the way you were planning. And then Murphy comes along and kicks you in the balls.
You have been kicked in the testicles.
Yeah, that's what's going on here. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Moonbuilt Garage. And as you can see, the D100 shop truck is back on stands again. I was actually in the process of recording another video where I was making some modifications, improvements hopefully, to the Sniper EFI. Well, during one of the test drives, I think my torque converter finally gave up. I suspected that it was going, and I think that was the main cause of my really high transmission temps, but now it got to the point that it was basically undrivable. So thank you, Murphy. That was one instance. Another instance was, well, I ordered a new torque converter, got the torque converter in, the part number on the shipping label was correct, the part number on the box was correct, the torque converter didn't fit. The part number on the back of the torque converter was the wrong one. That's 2. Fuck you, Murphy. But project got to keep moving forward, right? So at least this will give me the opportunity to address some other issues. One kind of minor that I'm going to be hopefully getting taken care of. But a second issue that I probably wouldn't have discovered without this happening. So it's not all bad, it just means more work. So the first issue that I want to take care of is my radiator fan. Up to this point, the radiator fan has just been bolted directly to the water pump, and that could potentially put a lot of load on the engine. That thing is constantly turning at whatever RPM the engine's going. So I wanted to install a fan clutch. So I picked up a thermal fan clutch. Now there are 2 kinds, there's centrifugal and there's thermal. I just happen to prefer thermal. And I'm going to bolt that to the water pump and then bolt my fan to the clutch. That was the plan anyway. I removed the fan, went to remove the spacer, and then quickly found out that there's no way for this fan to bolt to that clutch. That's 3, Murphy, 3. So I literally just walked in the door from my local pick-apart, throwing shit on the floor, and picked up a fan from the pick-apart. So this will be bolting to the clutch, which will get bolted to the water pump. Now I do have plans to maybe eventually go with an electric fan, but I've had mixed results with them. So I think for now, I'm just gonna run the clutch fan and we'll see how it goes. Let's go on to the second issue I want to address. So the second issue that I want to deal with has to do with my exhaust. Let me show you. So because of how my exhaust is laid out, I have to remove this section in order to get the transmission out. And that's because this cross pipe right here, it basically sits right underneath the tail shaft of the transmission. So this all had to be removed. Now the issue that I ran into is the ends here that go into the mufflers, because of the clamps that clamp the muffler to the tube, distorted the tube enough that getting this out, this side wasn't too bad, but getting this one out was really difficult. I mean, you can see I dented my cross tube there by beating on it with a dead blow. So I'm going to take care of that now since I have the exhaust out. So my plan for this is to cut each exhaust pipe probably 5 inches or so from the end. That'll give me plenty of room where it goes into the muffler. And then I'm going to weld in some of these exhaust V-band clamps. And what it is, you know, one part gets welded into the one pipe, the other part gets welded into the other pipe, and then when I install it, they come together and get held together with this clamp. Pretty simple. So that's what I'm going to be working on now. So there you get the idea. What that's going to allow me to do now is that short end, I'll be able to leave that clamped into the muffler, and then the next time I need to drop the exhaust for any reason, I just undo the V-band, unbolt from the headers, and the whole center section will be able to drop right out of the truck, making my life a whole lot easier. All right, there you can see I've got my exhaust just kind of temporarily mocked up into place. I did that just so I can make sure that the short tube here lines up good with the rest of the exhaust. The V-band clamps all line up, and then I can tighten these down. So with that all good to go, I can now move on to the next thing. All right, so one thing I need to address real quick. It has to do with welding those stainless V-band clamps to mild steel exhaust. The kit that I bought, when I looked it up, it claimed to have been mild steel. That was why I ordered the V-band kit that I did. But obviously, it looks like it was stainless. I don't own a TIG welder. All I have is MIG. So yes, you can MIG weld stainless to mild. Is it ideal? No. The welds, they're not pretty. My welds aren't pretty anyway. And it could potentially cause issues down the line. I think something about the weld could become brittle. If this was a full stainless exhaust, I'd be more concerned, obviously, and chances are this exhaust is going to eventually get replaced anyway. So for what it is, I'm okay with it. It's fine. It'll serve its purpose for now. Now on to the next issue. So this whole video got started because I'm pretty sure I smoked my torque converter in my 46RH. So obviously pulled the transmission, pulled the torque converter, and that's when I found what looked like a leak from the front pump. Thanks again, Murphy. You go to fix one problem, you end up finding more. Well, I can't exactly say end up finding more. I mean, I knew that I had some weeping going on along the pan gasket. The pan gasket was always a little damp. There was always some indication of fluid. So this is another opportunity that I would drop the pan and redo the gasket, make sure that seals up well. But like I said, when I pulled the torque converter, I found a lot, what looked like some fluid coming out of the bottom of the pump here. So that's going to be another issue that I'm going to be addressing. But fixing that leaky front pump will probably be its own video. This video is really just to kind of show, you know, the joys of working on projects like these. You know, you pull something out to fix one thing, and Murphy ends up giving you 2, 3, 4 more things to fix. That's just the life of working on projects. Appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you on the next one.